Hello and welcome to this GCSE video about reflex arcs. In this video I'll briefly go through what reflexes are, how they work and why they're important. Before looking at reflex arcs, we need to think about how the nervous system is split up. So we've got these two broad areas, the peripheral nervous system. This is made of your sensory neurons and your motor neurons, and your central nervous system, which consists of your brain and spinal cord, and these things called interneurons or relay neurons really is what we call them. So your motor neuron partially starts in the central nervous system but works its way out into the peripheral nervous system. So the cell body here is in the central nervous system, but the rest of it is in the peripheral nervous system. The sensory neuron is completely outside of the central nervous system. It's fully your peripheral nervous system, and your inter or relay neuron is found only in the central nervous system. So if you think about a normal response, let's say in this case we want to catch a ball, okay? So what needs to happen is you need to have a receptor which will tell the brain where the ball is. So that could be your eyes, for example, picking up light, okay? That message will go down the sensory neuron to the brain via the spinal cord. The brain will make a decision and then send it back down to the spinal cord to send the message to the motor neuron to catch the ball. So that's a thought of action. We've seen something coming, we've responded to it by our receptor in our eye, our retina basically picking up that light, sending a signal to the brain then making a decision about where that ball is and catching it. There are times, however, where we do not want to do all of that because, let's say, for example, we're about to or touching something hot. By the time it takes our brain to make a decision to move a hand away, it may cause a bit too much damage to our hand, in this case, if we're touching a candle. So what happens instead is we rely on a reflex arc. So in this case, what happens is that the receptor on our skin picks up the fact that it's hot, sends a signal down the sensory neuron to the spinal cord. Here, you have a synapse with an interneuron, another synapse with straight to a motor neuron, which will then tell the effector, in this case a muscle, that it needs to move, it needs to contract that hand away. The reason for this is because we want to try and save as much damage as possible, and this is how our reflexes work. Ultimately, our reflexes are there to try and keep us safe. They are there so we can navigate the world and ensure our survival. So it's not particularly a useful system if you have a situation where you have your hand on something hot and it takes way too long for you to move your hand away. Just bear in mind that while I said it doesn't go to the brain, what actually happens is while the spinal cord is what will send this message to the motor neuron, for in this case that you're being pricked by something, for example a cactus, the sensory neuron will send that message to spinal cord will relay this to the motor neuron to move your arm. A message is sent from the spinal cord to the brain to let the brain know what's happened, so further things can happen following that. I hope that explains reflex arc in this very brief video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.